Today, there are over 8 billion people on Earth, yet we are immersed in a worldwide pandemic of loneliness. Ironically, despite our sheer numbers, especially the younger generation is experiencing profound isolation from society. How can this be? Who stands to gain the most from our collective loneliness? And what exactly does it do to our lives? Join me on today's journey. I'll unpack all these questions and more. Fair warning, today's episode is dense, so please focus closely because I'm about to reveal things they never wanted you to know. But first, if you watch my videos regularly and haven't subscribed yet, please hit subscribe. It really helps the channel. Now let's dive into the spiral of loneliness. Chapter 1. What is loneliness? Loneliness isn't simply the state of being physically alone. You can be surrounded by people and still feel utterly isolated, alone among a crowd. In fact, you may not even realize you're suffering from loneliness, which is why I always say awareness matters more than intelligence. Without awareness of your enemy, no amount of talent or skill will serve you. Let me explain. Loneliness doesn't require solitude. You might be in a room full of friends yet feel an unbearable emptiness. To illustrate, I'll walk you through several key indicators. If you recognize these in yourself, you're likely trapped in deep loneliness. 1. Persistent emptiness. Regardless of whether you feel anger, sadness, excitement, or joy, you increasingly feel nothing. Emotionally, you're a blank slate. 2. Emotional dysregulation. When emotions do surface, you can't control them. You might erupt in tears without warning, or lash out at others over trivial matters, and not even understand why you're so upset. 3. Radical alienation. You feel fundamentally different from everyone, family, friends, colleagues. You believe no one truly understands or cares about you. 4. Existential questioning. Suddenly you ponder questions you never considered before. What's the point of life? Why were we created? What do I gain if I'm ultimately going to die? 5. Chronic fatigue. You're perpetually exhausted. No energy to answer friends' calls, work, shop for groceries, or even converse. 6. Time waste in escapism hours slip by on social media feeds. Endless TikTok scrolling, gaming marathons, or binge-watching shows you don't even enjoy, fueling your loneliness further. 7. Self-neglect. You stop brushing your teeth, skip showers, let your living space fall into disarray because you simply don't care anymore. By now, you should know whether you're experiencing true loneliness. If so, that's enough reason for me to explain further. Chapter 2. The myth of mental illness and the rise of charlatanry. We hear nonstop about depression, anxiety, social phobia, and about psychiatrists and psychologists who supposedly heal us. But here's the truth. Psychiatry often masquerades as medicine while practicing the same deceptive tactics as charlatans. Think of street spiritual healers. They light incense, promise miracles, take your money, and sometimes harm you physically. Yet people remain desperate enough to fall for their tricks. Why? First, desperation itself. When you're at your wit's end, you'll try anything. Second, these con artists hide behind the veneer of religion, calling themselves sheikhs or spiritual masters. So audiences assume legitimacy they don't deserve. Similarly, psychiatric practitioners claim to offer medicines that are in reality sedatives, drugs that numb rather than cure. They present them as authentic medicines, but in truth, they're mind-altering substances designed to bring you back repeatedly. Even the names have been cosmetically rebranded. Alcohol becomes spirits or ethanol, obscuring its intoxicating nature. Sexual behaviors once deemed immoral are now labeled sexual freedom. Religious zeal is recast as extremism. It's all spin. The real reason depression and other mental illnesses appear to be rampant is because no one addresses the root cause: loneliness. Without social importance, without a feeling that you matter, you default into despair. Human beings are inherently social creatures. Our greatest drive is to connect, to belong, to be valued by others. When so-called experts attribute your pain to brain chemistry alone, they distract you from your true enemy, your isolation. I'm not claiming every mental health professional is a fraud. Many are sincere and well-trained. But the system as a whole perpetuates a dark science used for manipulation and control, just as it has always been, for recruitment, for propaganda, for profit. To see proof, revisit historical accounts. The term melancholy, what we now call depression, was a philosophical and literary concept for centuries, not a medical diagnosis, until 1621, when Robert Burton published The Anatomy of Melancholy, a work of literature, not medicine. That was the birth of depression as a medical label. Chapter 3, How the Loneliness Spiral Feeds Depression. Once loneliness sets in, it creates a toxic cocktail of emptiness and sorrow that we label depression. But fighting depression alone is like battling smoke while your house is ablaze. You must fight the fire of loneliness first. So how did we let an entire generation slip into isolation? The answer is simple: technology, especially social media. Endless scrolling through Instagram and TikTok, comparing yourself to curated images of wealth, beauty, and fame, destroys your self-esteem and convinces you the real world is inferior. For men in particular, pornography becomes a convenient substitute for genuine connection. When everything you desire is available with a tap, you lose the motivation to work, to date, to build a life, because the dopamine hits from pixels feel easier than real effort. Soon your confidence plummets, addiction sets in, and you withdraw further from society. The result is a derivative generation consumed by digital escapism, powerless to form meaningful relationships. They exist as mere consumers, and that benefits the corporations and governments controlling the platforms, the media, and the narrative. Their goal? A weak, distracted populace, profitable, controllable, and politically docile. Chapter 4, Escaping the Loneliness Trap. If you recognize yourself in this cycle, I'm about to share a 4-part roadmap to break free. 1. Reclaim your body. Excessive screen time robs you of life. Aim to limit your phone use. 4 hours a day is already too much. Each extra minute online is another minute spent fueling someone else's profit and draining your vitality. Swap digital time for physical exertion, exercise, sports, outdoor activity. Physical labor anchors you in the moment, exhausts you healthily, stabilizes sleep, and quiets the mind so you stop overthinking. 2. Reject pornography. Porn rewires your brain to crave artificial stimulation, erasing your drive to pursue real relationships. Acknowledge what it does to your motivation and sense of self-worth, and commit to cutting it out. The emptiness you feel afterward is proof your heart longs for genuine human connection. 3. Embrace physical effort. Hard physical work is a powerful antidote to mental turmoil. Whether it's weightlifting, running, manual labor, or sports, it expends the restless energy that fuels anxiety, sharpens focus on the present, and builds confidence through accomplishment. Over time, you'll find your social skills and mental resilience improving naturally. 4. Cultivate mindful connections. If you're a parent, don't give children unsupervised phones before age 13. Instead, foster real-world interactions, play dates, team sports, family activities. For yourself, be intentional about meeting people. Join clubs, classes, volunteer groups. Even brief, authentic conversations can remind you that you matter. Final thoughts. Sometimes you will feel alone, Perhaps you're living far from family or friends. Acknowledge it without judgment. Loneliness itself isn't a moral failing. Embrace it as a temporary phase, a signal that you need to reconnect. Remember, no one was born to remain alone forever. Your awareness and actions determine your path forward. Stop comparing yourself to others' curated lives on social media. Don't resent that they seem to have more money, more friends, more success. Instead, focus on your unique strengths. Your difference is your gift. Only you can transform your life. If you decide to give up, not even God can help you. But if you decide to start, the universe, and yes, divine providence, will support you. Reboot your life today. Step away from the spiral of loneliness, reclaim your body and mind, and rediscover genuine connection. The link to the first resource is in the top comment. Stay vigilant. There are forces eager to keep you isolated and distracted. Your greatest power lies in moving forward.